Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program 0.18.2. I'm in an older version looking at some of my past adventures, starting with the tiniest probe I ever launched, called the Blue Buoy, which is, yeah, it's basically a buoy in space. That's kind of funny. There was also this long-range comms satellite, which, wow, I used to be good at designing satellites. I suck at it now. There's also a probe called Dalek Khan for some reason. That doesn't really make any sense, but here it is. There's of course the Blue Thunder, which is an ion-powered probe, sitting in low Kerbin orbit, or not quite low Kerbin orbit, because I got too tired of waiting for it to burn to go to somewhere else, like Duna, or I don't know. There's the Moonshot 1, as I called it, in orbit of the moon. A lot of probes in this save. Oh yes, I remember this actually. This is the Sora Moon 2, and at first I was like, well, I have no idea what it is, but I remembered when I saw it because it has 3 landing legs. This craft had fairings around it, if I remember correctly, or something happened. Basically, something happened to where when I deployed this during launch, it glitched out really bad and broke off one of the landing legs. There's also the Moonshot 2A, which was an orbiter that I landed on the moon, along with its lifting vehicle type deal, which is kind of funny. And of course, the beautiful, the wonderful Interprobe 1801A, which I just realized is called the 1801A when it really should be called the 1701A, and I am a numpty. There we go. Yes, you can tell what ship this is emulating. And yes, it was launched into orbit legitimately using its own power. Well, mostly its launch vehicle's power, but also a tiny bit of its fuel. Very, very tiny bit just out of this front tank. Moving on to some other stuff. This is a probe that was meant to help build a space station, and is it just me, or is these textures really, really weird? That is strange. I also like the design of this. Again, I feel like I must have gotten worse at designing things in KSP recently, or because I'm just looking at this and I'm going, I like this design. It's old, but I like it. And here we have the Small Apollo ship from when I was designing a Small Apollo mission, and apparently this is when I was testing it. I didn't even realize. This design ultimately, this looks a bit strange. This isn't how it ended up. I think this was definitely for a test launch here, this particular version. But as you can see, it's a basically like a one-person Small Apollo. And here we have a command vehicle for a Small Apollo mission. Let's see, is this one? No, it's not Outer Resources. I thought it was. This was part of my testing, of course. Working on this design. This design eventually worked. Not like this, of course. This is very bad compared to what actually ended up working. Also, I believe this is it's entirely controlled by this probe down here. We also have the Pagoda Znort, which is some... I don't even know what this is supposed to be. And we also have this ER Asis fighter, which I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean, but wow, I remember when my fighters used to look like this. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take off with this and completely fail. This is, oh. I guess I turned off the engines. Where's the parachute that I have activated by accident? Oh, I haven't activated it by accident. Oh, these are closed. And I have the brakes stuck on. I need to turn those off, of course. And the parachute... Whoops. Well, we're now flying. Well, the parachute says it's fine, but it also says it isn't fine. And wow, it is blindingly bright. We are on the... I accidentally hit the brakes. I meant to open the map. We're flying over the North Pole. Well, not over the North Pole, but over the north ice caps, because that's where I landed this. So that's pretty cool. Wow. This is bringing back some memories with this. Oh, there's the parachute that I... Okay, that explains that. Let me go ahead and land this again. This was, of course, back when the SAS was a lock-on position type deal, rather than what we currently have. And it's also very hard to see where the ground is. But I should be fine. Oh, well, I'm landed. I didn't even realize. And stop. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. Oh, wow. I remember this. This is from a long time ago. This was a design that I made to go into orbit with a bunch of small canisters. It's a launch vehicle that launches a bunch of these, and if I remember correctly, these are all... This is before you could drain the fuel out. If I remember correctly, this is before you could drain the fuel out, so it just carries a ton of liquid fuel into orbit too. It was very hard to get this system working, and even in the end, it's not that good. I should revisit it, because it was a good idea. How do I get to the fuel tank? Whatever. I'm just gonna leave that alone. And of course there's all these saves, all these ships that I need to take a look at too, because there are some old ships saved in these files. But that's all for this time. Thanks for watching. As always, see you in space.